Hakone is probably the biggest town in the metropolitan area of Hakone. Alpine town, filled with cosmopolitan delights, restaurants, hotels, clubs. But away from the hustle bustle of Tokyo, you can relax and get drunk here instead of being tense and doing it back there. The cable car at Gora Station in the Hakone area. This takes us up to the very top of the peak where we have access to a railway. Come, watch with me as you see the journey up this mountainous rail car. Check this out. We are taking the Hakone roadway up to the top to a spacious mountain retreat. I think there is a mountain onsen at the top where they serve various types of sushi and Japanese green teas. That's something we're going to be enjoying very, very soon. The Chinese have their Great Wall of Japan, never going to be outdone, has come up with their own Great Wall of Japan, currently under construction. They've designed the top 6 layers. I think 3-4 years from now, the final construction of the Great Wall of Japan will be complete. We're walking up to one of these sulfur springs. Plentiful amounts of sulfuric acid and hydrogen sulfide. These things are not healthy for you. They are anti-respiratory and they can cause conjunctivitis and respiratory failure. So all you're supposed to do when you go up there is stick an egg, cook it, eat it, and get the hell out of there as soon as possible.
And so that's what the mass of visitors do. They buy bags of sulfuric boiled eggs, either a light boil at 80 degrees Celsius or a heavy boil at 95 to 100 degrees. Put a little salt on top of these blackened ovals, and it's an early Easter. In a non-Christian country. Speaking of food, in Hakone, it's an entirely different ballgame. For breakfast, it's Japanese country cuisine. Grilled fish, pickled fish, fish soup, and fish-flavored coffees.
A must visit when you come to Hakone is to visit a botanical garden. We're doing exactly that. There are over 1,000 different species from 7 or 8 different ecosystems here. Beautiful mountains surround us. Laborers work to preserve the beauty of these gardens. There are bog environments here, swamp, wetlands, marshes. Every type of ecosystem in Japan and even abroad is found in these botanical gardens. I think they counted 300 different species of bees, 4 different species of laborers, and maybe 20 different types of dogs. Hakone is a bit like being in a mountainous Swiss town, except it's got Japan written all over it. You have Japanese stamp indelibly marked, the Japanese cars, the Japanese attention to detail and organization, the Japanese fondness for fish. You don't get the snow here. You get all the best of Switzerland with the efficiency of modern Japan. That's why the Japanese and increasingly foreigners love it. Lake Ashi is a place you can't miss when you come to Hakone. There are so many attractions, so many different types of fish upon this lake that if you don't get on one of these boats and do a cruise, you're an absolute moron. So grab a coffee, get some umbrellas in case it rains, and tour these wonderful lakes. Look at that. You can even kiteboard here if they have beach. They don't. Just lounge on a boat, have fish, and drink beers. And marvel in the beauty of Japan. We're going to pass one of Japan's most famous shrines in a little bit. The Hakone Shrine. What can I say about it that hasn't already been said? The Japanese flock here to honor their ancestors in Hakone. Amazing. Delectable. A tourist attraction to end all tourist attractions. Let's go visit it. 320 steps to the top of Hakone Shrine. We're going to walk up to the top slowly, and when we get to the top, we are going to sacrifice the houseboy to the gods to bring us good luck for the next 20 years. Every time I visit a shrine, it doesn't matter which country, I always want to enjoy its fresh well water. The Hakone Shrine is no exception.
Would you like a Pocari Switzer?
How many times do I have to tell you? I want fresh, delicious well water. We're at the checkpoint in Hakone. Historically, this is the immigration office, but it's not the way the immigration office works today. In present times, if you're coming from another country, you have to go through immigration. Back in those days, the Edo era, Everyone from another province, another city, even 20 kilometers away would have to go through immigration and sign the forms and be admitted and pass this checkpoint gate. If they were not successful going through immigration, they were deported. Not everybody who hit immigration, as I said, was allowed in to this province. You either deported to jail, and if you were really shaky sort, you were shot. They had a proper shooting range for doing so. The steps behind me in the distance, that's considered the border. You walk over here, when you cross the crest of that hill, you were in this province, and you were stamped officially in. Before that, you're no man's land, limbo. It's like the area that separates two countries. When I travel to other countries, I pride myself on the fact that I look like a local. That people could just pass me by and think, the guy's from Japan, he's Japanese. This is no exception. Look, I'm dressed in the yukata, the classic robe, the ties, the vests. People spoke to me in Japanese on the streets. That's a compliment.